My name is Harry, I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
Today is November 26, 2024. It is 2:28 a.m. I have several tweets to share with you. One is a thread which I didn't really have time to record it earlier yesterday, so I'm gonna cover that, and I've added to the list and I have a total of 10. So I don't know how long I'm gonna be on each of these tweets, but if anything, I could make it part 1 and part 2, and then another video which will be on PYTE. So far I have 4 tweets that has to do with Harry being that will be at Dilbrook Summit in New York. Okay, and I think there's some other tweets that relate to it, and also Tyler Perry kind of things. Okay, so I want to get this huge list first out of the way, and let's get started. 4,450 subscribers, new subscribers welcome. Estimate revenue $95.97. Analytics 964 views in the last 48 hours. So let's go on Twitter. Look at that cat just sitting. Let's start with that long thread, and I believe it's some videos regarding the royal rats. Let's pause. Okay, yeah, I didn't have time this morning. It's the weekly Royal BS beat with Kate Nonsense, Kate Mercy, After a Furor, and Matt the Menace. They then mentioned the Sussexes and the trailer, but let's see. They started with Camilla, dog dying. Okay. I mean, like I said in my last video, in my humble opinion, the reason they did this for Camilla and whatever, is not only for distraction of the last documentary that Channel 4 did that shows about how much money the royals are taking from NHS and other places, and the cost of the coronation. This documentary was a way to distract from that, in my humble opinion, and then at the same time to somewhat, I think, to make the horse look good. Let's listen, and there will be a screenshot. The last video that I did, which is this one, which I did yesterday, it took me a while because YouTube had flagged it. All right, YouTube had flagged it, so I had to redo it and re-upload it. So I'm just gonna put screenshot. Okay, let's listen. 1 minute and 24 seconds. The royal bit.
Hello and welcome.
I thought that was from the documentary, but okay.
The Royal Beat, the show that takes you to the heart of the House of Windsor and dissects the very latest news about the monarchy. I'm Kate Fonton, and today I'm joined by the Sun's royal editor, Matt Wilkinson, royal editor for the Times, Kate Nance is with us, and royal commentator, Afia Hagan. There's two. Lovely to see you all. How are you? Good?
Great, thank you.
Good, good. Because I have a lot to get through with you over the next hour.
So there's a music in the background. I'm gonna have to try to manipulate it in a way so you will hear only the audio of the voice of them talking, but there's a music. They put a music in that video.
News of a break-in on the Windsor Castle estate. We asked, does security need to be bolstered to protect their royal residences? And speaking of security, Prince Andrew's found the funds to stay in his 30-room mansion. We'll be discussing whether the public have a right to know where the money's come from after his brother, the King, cut him off. Also on the show, Queen Camilla's got herself a degree, and her sister-in-law, Princess Anne, presented it to her. We'll have all the details on the honour bestowed to her. And find out why the King got emotional at a star-studded event where he revealed he was reduced to tears recently.
Oh, Lord.
Before all of that, though, some sad news from Buckingham Palace this week, following the announcement that Queen Camilla's beloved dog Beth has sadly passed away. And Kate Manzi, you were a big fan of Beth, weren't you? Beth and Bluebell. Beth and Blue.
Oh God, that was torture listening to this. Okay, so let's pause. This is the next video. They're on about the Windsor nightmare break-in. Does this make Harry's security case more viable? Remember when Harry was in the UK, what was he doing? There was something that he was doing, and they said something like the king offer him to stay in the palace, but the place where he was gonna stay, there was no security, and anybody could come in and out or something like that, and Harry declined. So they themselves are not even safe in how they want Harry to stay. You know what they plan on doing if that was the case, if Harry had stayed. But anyway, security case more viable. After offer doesn't think so, but it does mean more security is needed to protect the royals. Okay, 2 minutes and 9 seconds.
What actually happened, we realised what a huge security scare it was, but it's a really difficult place to defend. Windsor estate is huge. It's not the castle. It's, you know, it's fences. It's almost like rural crime. I'm sure there are people, you know, that live in the countryside, and this kind of thing does unfortunately happen quite a lot. But it's very difficult for, you know, the Walesers living there to kind of protect where they are. But just to say, they didn't get close to Adelaide Cottage. So, you know, the children were asleep, but then the thieves did crash out with a stone.
I don't know. For some reason, this was a made-up story to, I don't know, okay, to distract from something. Maybe the documentary about how much the coronation cost and all of that. I don't believe this for one bit. And also, if this is the case, you know what, let me not say. Let's listen.
Stolen truck and a stolen quad bike through the exit that they do normally use. So this is something that the Waleses regularly come down this road, regularly come out the exit. So I think that's the worry and the concern that I have when I found out about the story.
And I'm sure that once you get closer to Adelaide Cottage, then you get that added layer of protection.
The BT, that's exactly the we aren't police, but it was late at night. It was, you know, it was close to midnight on a Sunday night. Wow. So you imagine, you know,
and
I don't know.
As well,
oh, so they know the time and everything. So could that be something from the inside? Oh my God, I'm trying to hold my tongue from not saying a couple of things.
Feels very menacing, doesn't it? And some pretty high value items taken and then just kind of driven off the estate, which is quite audacious when you think about it, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I mean, so this is the castle, you know, this is the seat of the king and the royal family. So if you are looking for weak spots in the countryside to get away with a vehicle, I'm not sure Windsor Castle would be top of your list, but they would have, I'm told that they would have had to have staked the place out for a while because you couldn't see this barn from the road. It's a farm building just inside the estate. You couldn't see it, so they would have had to have looked at the area, worked out the weak spots, and, you know, I think William would be, I haven't spoken to him, haven't asked him, but I think he would be quite shocked by how close this burglary was to where he was with his family.
And quite likes to say, okay, how can we make sure that we step things up so that this doesn't happen? Does this bring about a new spotlight on Harry's claims that he needs security when he's in the UK? And do you think that this may make the Home Office a little more kind of empathetic towards his claims?
Well, it's a reminder, really, isn't it, that of the level.
Okay, so this is the afua. Okay, let's continue. Keep in mind, everything will be screenshot. I really can't show the video at all.
They have a lot of property. They have things that people would want to steal. And so, yeah, it's a reminder that security is needed and is warranted. And I think, you know, it's also shows us that perhaps security should be upped, especially at the Windsor Castle. I mean, yeah, Matt, you're absolutely right. It's a massive estate and they weren't really anywhere near where the Waleses were sleeping, but they could have been.
Yeah, I mean, actually, Kate, this is not the first time that this has happened, and intruders have made it into royal palaces. Famously, the Queen's bedroom.
That was the famous case, wasn't it, in 1982, where Michael Fagan managed to get into the late Queen's bedroom, despite all the security surrounding Buckingham Palace, which was considered extraordinary at the time. The Queen was, we're told, very level-headed about it, and Paul Wybrew was there, who's known as Tall Paul, who was one of the Queen's favourite aides. And he managed to sort of quickly and deftly escort him out of the bedroom and off the premises. But it does show you that these things can happen even in something that we consider to be a kind of Fort Knox like Buckingham Palace.
There was, in more recent times, on Christmas Day in 2021, a man climbs into the castle grounds at Windsor with a crossbow and was later said to have told police, "I'm here to kill the Queen."
Yeah, well, this is quite a chilling incident. I mean, this is how bad it can actually get. When we talk about kind of weak times, midnight.
And at the same time, they don't see that Harry needs security. What did Charles say? Look at the screen. There's something that I have where Charles says something that it would not be mattered or something like that. I forgot what was the wording. Something like if an attack happened to Harry, it would not significant disturb the British public or something like that. So, whatever. Let's continue and finish with this really quick.
Sunday where the thing happened near Adelaide Cottage or Shore Farm, but this happened on Christmas Day. You know, the royal family were there at Windsor Castle, and I've seen the video of this, that this guy, he went to trial, or went to court, and he's currently in prison, and it was terrifying. And these are the kind of threats that the royal family faced.
Well, you're right, it really does reframe
Is it playing again?
a lot of the claims that are coming.
But yet Charles doesn't see Harry need security. LOL, they want the Wells to join TikTok UK because apparently they be relatable. Oh my god. 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Oh my god, this is torturous. I thought there was something more significant. But since many of you are not on Twitter to see it, or if you're not in the UK, probably will not see that. That's the only reason I'm sharing. But this is torturous listening to.
He was there also to see part of his Homewards project. This is his campaign to make homelessness rare, brief,
Oh my
and
God.
unrepeated, as he says. And Northern Ireland is one of the 6 locations for the Homewards project. So he was there to see some of the work that's been going on there.
He has so much property, he can even manage to keep them secure. Why doesn't he open a portion of it for homelessness? Oh my lord.
To help young people in particular from becoming homeless.
Yeah, this is his very bold mission statement to eradicate homelessness.
My God.
And inadvertently, he also found himself following in his Auntie Sarah's footsteps and making his TikTok debut.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
There was a particular student who was going to be late for class because of the visit.
And she was very, very canny. She decided to take the moment and make it work for her. Let's take a look.
Just tell her why we're there. Just say sorry.
Leslie,
Yeah.
Leslie, is that you recording?
Yeah.
Leslie, I'm very sorry we're late. It's you caught up, and they wouldn't believe that we were here. So, just say hi.
I mean, nicely done, right?
Exactly, and you know, good for her TikTok following. I'm sure it's popped up a
great
couple of thousand after that.
A million, I'd say.
Yeah.
He's a good egg for rolling with those moments, isn't he?
100%. And the best thing about that is that we go on these jobs and we see William, we try to report on the fact that he engages well with people.
What?
like him.
He engaged well with people? Okay. All right.
People walk away thinking, oh, he was a lovely, down-to-earth guy. And so we write these stories, and I'm not sure it really translates into people, is what people believe. But seeing him doing that, if you read the comments underneath, that's what everyone's saying, what we kind of write, saying, oh, he was what a down-to-earth guy, what a lovely chap. That's what he does a lot. So I'm so glad it was captured on TikTok and shared, and everyone could actually see what he actually does. He gets stuck in, he makes people feel good about themselves, he spends a lot of time with them, and I'm really glad that people get to see that, because that's what we
It's
get to
more
see.
relaxed now than he has been in the past as well. He's more happy and more relaxed to get involved in these sorts of stunts or whatever it may be.
It's also really important for the royals to engage in like digital social media in a positive way. I mean, we've talked about it so much and how it's been so negative, I think, especially this year for the royals. And I think, you know, engaging it in a positive way, I think that's definitely should
Hey, listen, they've nailed Instagram. Surely TikTok is only, you know, a heartbeat away. Let's keep our eyes peeled to see if they pop up there. Before that, though, whilst Prince William was in Northern Ireland, Princess Catherine has been busy back.
Okay, whatever it is that helped them maintain the status quo to distract people from whatever, hey, they're doing their thing. It's up to the UK. This is another one, 49 seconds.
Video from the Prince and Princess of Wales with a kind of a picture that was him with a garland of very cool shades.
Yeah.
Proper kind of cool granddad pic.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, Grandpa Wales. Yeah.
Anything from his other son?
not publicly, so there wasn't any public birthday wishes from the Duke of Sussex, Prince Harry, but we understand that he would have reached out to his father and wished him happy birthday privately. We understand, although hasn't been confirmed.
If Charles pick up the phone.
Harry didn't publicly acknowledge his father's birthday, but had he done so, I mean, would that have been right either? Are there moments here where you feel that maybe Harry can't do right for wrong?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because if there had been a post, then I'm sure there would be, people saying, oh, trying to grab the attention from his father.
Media from the Prince and
Alright.
Princess of Wales.
LOL. Let's pause. LOL. After a furrow talking about what those two reporters next to her would have said if Harry had sent a message. Harry likes to do his thing privately. It's the other one who usually the left-behinders who love to make things public by leaking.
Trying to grab the attention from his father on his birthday. He's only doing it to show off or whatever. And then if he doesn't post anything publicly, then he's ignored his father's birthday. It is one of those situations where can't do right for doing wrong. But I'm absolutely sure that there was private birthday wishes exchanged, and there's. That's absolutely right. That's how it should be. I think had he done something publicly, there would have just been this whole sort of narrative of
That's true. I agree with her.
attention seeking and spilling secrets, and why is he telling us that he's wished his father happy birthday? So he did it privately. Good for them.
Okay, thank you very much.
Allegedly, and I agree with her 100%. If he did it publicly, there will be all sort of speculation, take it out of context, all sort of things. Who knows? Allegedly, he probably called his father privately and wish him a happy birthday and move on.
Now, in the run-up to the King's birthday, he was also out and about on the town, attending the very glitzy and very glam.
Alright, so it's done. Are there any more? Okay, I'm not gonna read all of these, but let me see what this is about. Where is the first one? Okay, in other news, Spare by Prince Harry, the paperback sales are good, number 4 on the list. I didn't see the one for his cousin's wife. I know. Or the update Royal Book of Lies. Lastly, notice that they ignore Meghan's engagement with the woman cooking because she's more relatable than all of them. That is true. And also, that should make us think about when we read about history. It depends on who's writing history and how they present the subject matter for the readers. So, like she said, they didn't even bother mentioning Meghan doing this for the Afghan, the Welcome Project, none of that. It's as if this never existed. This is a perfect example when we are reading history. It depends on who's writing the history and how they present the subject matter to its readers. Okay, so like I've said in past videos, where some of the topics, there was a book, what was this guy name? I remember the thumbnails where I said it was meant for the history because the lies that they put in the book, I think it was a 60-minute documentary that was talking about a book that one of the royal rats wrote. That's what I think. Look at the screen. There are some screenshots of the thumbnails where I spoke about this. You could go and check it out because I don't remember if it was I don't remember everything that was in the video, but I remember the thumbnails was completely overwhelmingly just pure lies. And I said it wasn't for the now. It's not for the people who are living right now. It's for the future. When you look now how the US is turning out, where the same type of narrative, lies, and the media and all of that happened in the UK is happening in the US as well. So it's up to us to make sure to write what is being done exactly the way it is being done, because these people, they love to create or manufacture a story of making themselves look good, and whoever they don't like is like they either didn't exist or they are the worst people that ever exist in the universe. Meaning that the writers, when they're writing history, there's two things. They either ignore whoever they don't want to mention, or they make their that particular group or people or person look bad. Okay, so this is a perfect example. Meghan did such a wonderful thing this past week with the Welcome Project. They didn't even bother mentioning it. Okay, so it's up to us. It is up to us. So all the headlines, the tabloid, these are for the future, because they already scripted. They already narrowing how our future great grandkids will be reading things in now in our time. So it's up to us. It is up to us. There was a tweet that I was reading. I don't even bother me put it in the list because I didn't think I would be thinking about it when I'm making, because it has nothing to do with Harry and Meghan and the UK. It was very telling in terms of the same thing that I'm mentioning in terms of subject matter and the history of things. All right, so let's get back to the original recording. Okay, so there's all of that. All right, LOL, they think their narrative of Harry working and Meghan at home with children will work. 4th December is around the corner. What is this? Mr. Cowan James further explained, in my opinion, Harry needs this moment for himself. This is his passion project after all, without the media frenzy that follows her everywhere. While Harry traveled to Canada earlier this month, Meghan is thought to have remained in California with their children. Okay, a PR expert has commented on Prince Harry deciding to promote his beloved tournament alone, and an honest comment focused on Harry's good intention. PR expert and founder of No Strings Public Relations, Riley Gardner, said, quote, "It's a smart move for Prince Harry to promote the Invictus game on his own this year. It means the spotlight can stay on the games and away from every little thing Meghan does. He's showing respect for the athletes and the cause without any distraction." I mean, we can tell the media where to focus. Like, for instance, when Harry, you know what? No matter what Harry does, there will be problem.
You happy?
Yes,
You happy? Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Happy birthday.
Yeah, I'm so happy.
I've got something for you. This is from our team. Team Invictus volleyball.
Thank you very much.
Because the team is our strength.
Thank you very much. Thank you
This is what we are going for.
No, thank you.
And you, thank you for supporting. So come on, everybody. And you, thank you for supporting. So come on, everybody.
LOL, they're already on about Birmingham 2027, Harry to attend without his wife. In addition, he added that by Meghan not attending, it will lead to further speculation about the couple. The PR expert added, quote, "On the flip side, if Meghan does attend, people will inevitably speculate, quote, are they going apart? Are the Sussexes in trouble? She is in a them if she does, them if she doesn't situation." Speaking of Harry, the expert added that he believed Harry would be best to attend the games without Meghan by his side. I mean, we already know. Harry said why he's not bringing his wife to the UK. So we already know about that. Let's not forget as well, which I've already put a section where the Poland team had already mentioned to Meghan, thank you for supporting Harry.
And you, thank you for supporting.
Okay, with that being said, when Invictus was in Netherlands, I specifically point out how the UK did not support Harry one bit. Okay, I specifically state that. There's one video where I point that out. It was at the end of the Invictus Netherlands, someone from whatever office, defense, came out to show support. Not during, at least I didn't come across. I've always put this disclaimer. During the games where the competitors really need people to cheer them, to push them, to do well at the game, I didn't see, with the exception of some squaddies from the UK who went and, to be a cheerleader to support the Invictus. Okay, but from the home office, I didn't hear a damn thing. Okay, if there was during the game, I did not come across it. However, near the end of the Invictus Netherlands, that's when someone from Home Office, I think, or Defense came and said something about the Invictus. And it was, for me, I felt like it was too late. The game was, I think it was near the closing ceremony. All the activities were already done. Okay, so they didn't show any support before and during. Okay, so I just want to point this out. It was the following year, the Germany Invictus, where I've also point out where they finally starting to attempt to give a damn about the Invictus. And then after that, I mean, Harry needs to be very careful with these people who's not the military people, okay? Not them, because they know Harry is for them already. But the people who are running the country, who direct where the military goes and things like that, these are the people Harry needs to be very careful with. Like the one who put the bid for Birmingham Invictus 2027. Okay, these are the people Harry needs to be very careful with, because they just playing around with Harry. And I've also point out for the Birmingham Invictus, there were some issues. They manufactured the situation where they could get the bid. Because I remember reading things where they remove certain funds for the city and things like that. And then later on, the city needed funding for certain things. I don't know if Harry knew or just pretend not to care about that. But specifically, certain situations were manufactured to get the bid. Okay? So they didn't have money for the Commonwealth Games, but yet they have money for the Invictus. But overall, the undermining things here that we need to understand is that those people, they don't care about the vets. They manufacturing things. The military personnel, they understand that Harry is really looking out for them. This is the key thing here. Those personnel people who's running their mouth left and right, bad mouthing Harry's wife and things like that, they better be careful as well. I mean, in this clip, whatever caption I just read, then badmouth Meghan or anything like that. But they already know Harry said he's not bringing his wife to the UK. There's a reason for that. And also, the military people know that with Meghan's support, that Harry is actually expanding his wings to help the military people. Also, lastly, let's not forget, before Harry and Meghan were together, Meghan was already supporting the military personnel. Okay? Keep that in mind. But these people, they love to manufacture things. They already, I don't know what Meghan did to them. Well, obviously, racism is play a part of it. But we already know they don't like Meghan. Meghan didn't do anything wrong to these people for them to keep on excluding Harry's wife. And Harry could read between the lines now. I think he understands the full capacity of these people. Okay? So there's so much to say about this, but the key point here is that the military personnel, the people who are in the military and the vets know that Harry and Meghan are truly dedicated to the cause that they are doing and to help them. Okay? We already seen from the Poland team.
Prince Harry, the human touch that he has was simply extraordinary. He came around and spoke to every single athlete. He shook the hand of every single athlete. I was also able to show him a picture of my little girl, who's also a redhead. So I said to him, "Oh, look, this is my little girl." And I've got a picture of her putting a funny face. And he said, "My little girl does that face." He was amazing. And without Prince Harry's advocacy and constant commitment to this process, that individual lives like mine wouldn't have been touched. And we're now seeing that extend to 21 nations across the globe. And he's one of us. He is one of us. Like me, has served in Afghanistan. So I was amazed to meet him and to be able to have a magical moment, and selfies and photos was brilliant. And he's around here all the time. He keeps walking around here, and of course gave that amazing speech at the beginning of the opening ceremony. The whole room jumped in on a spontaneous Harry, Harry, Harry. But the one thing in his speech that really stood out for me is that he asked us all to look down at our chests and see our nation's flag on our chest or on our sleeves. We've all worn on operations over the years. And I felt 550 athletes all looked down at the same time as he said that. And that was the moment where it got a bit dusty in the room, if I'm quite honest. The emotions hit me. And that flag that I carry on my chest now, I'm very proud to do today.
Okay, let's see what happened after the court case. Okay, because the court case is next year in January 2025. So Birmingham is what, 2 years later. So we shall see how things pan out. Meaning he won't be able to outshine those lazies. Harry has been busy traveling the world, delivering speeches about the danger of social media, which has resulted in positive feedback, like India McTaggart saying the Duke is flexing his global diplomatic muscles, and Time magazine including the Duke on their Time 100 climate list for his work with travelers. According to Barr, Harry will not have been able to experience this kind of growth if he were still a senior working royal, as there will be a strict guideline he will be expected to adhere to. Yeah, prevent him from doing all these stuff. Okay, because they want him to stay, below the other lazies. So if the lazies, the one who above him, are not doing anything, so they expect him to do absolutely nothing. She wrote, if Harry were still a royal, I don't think we will see this expansion. That is true. Okay, those royal riders are jealous because Harry banned them using local reporters. Watch them offer accreditation on February for Canada. There's the laugh here. Harry has been all sort of busy recently, making his way to New York City, then overseas and back again, landing in Vancouver, Canada for an Invictus Game event, which got the attention of royal riders Jane Ball. They can't write about those things because they never been invited. Remember, and I think there was something that was going on in New York, like a get together with travelers, and there were three New York based, I don't know, 3 US, let's just say US based papers. It was Town and Country, People. I keep on forgetting one. What was the third one? Oh my goodness. Town and Country, People, and I think it was Vanity Fair. Yeah. Town and Country, People, and Vanity Fair. Those 3 that were able to write about the event on travelers. Okay. Holy Christ. Is this actually a program on somewhere? All right. So that's that. Oh my God. I did read some of them that I say I wasn't going to read. Okay. So let's go to the next tweet. If this is more than an hour, I probably will do 2 parts to it. Okay. So far, I'm 20 something minutes in. Okay. So what was it? Camilla was trending yesterday. So these were some of the things that came from the trend. It's funny how when Prince Harry's book Spare was released, many in this documentary want to say it was full of lies. Today, with receipt, it shows that he was telling the truth. Who needs enemies when a father like King Charles? Okay, so let's listen to this.
Charles' own children, though that was a price you had to pay.
Okay, this is very low, and there will be screenshot, okay? It's that first quadrant that has the video, and the others are images.
They then did a deal with the palace, and they then spied to make Charles look as good as possible. As Harry tells it, it was a total stitch. Yes, Harry's taken drugs, but he didn't do the rehab. The story was basically fictitious.
But Boland's spin worked, and within hours the broadcast media made it headline news.
Prince Harry admitted to regularly smoking cannabis and drinking alcohol.
Prince Harry admits smoking cannabis, says the Sunday Times. Prince Harry, Prince Harry, and Prince Harry. The whole of the news of the world covers for liking the cat is based on what is what they call a family friend. Now,
this is why Harry was saying this is much bigger than just them.
When I lost my mum 23 years ago, you took me under your wing. You looked out for me for so long, but the media is a powerful force. And my hope is one day our collective support for each other can be more powerful, because this is so much bigger than just us.
Meaning him and Meghan. Because when you have all these people from pretty much around the globe who's willing to lie for his father and all sort of things, This is much bigger than both of them, and it's transferring over here, and Trump is gonna even make it worse. And I'm hearing there's Elon Musk trying to buy Comcast, and it's the last tweet that I have for this. It's huge because these people, they want to live in lies, and they want people to vote blindly without knowing the truth. Okay, let me open a new tab to show you. Maybe I'll just tackle this and get it out of the way. Regarding Elon Musk buying, MSNBC? Okay, Elon Musk is seriously joking about buying MSNBC cable news channel from Comcast and replacing the liberal-leaning Rachel Maddow show with a Joe Rogan Shark Jack show. This is what happens when there are no safeguards like the fairness doctrine into protecting our news sources. Okay, this one is 1 minute and 22 seconds, and then I'll go back, okay, to the other tweet that I started, and I'm done with that, okay? So I tackled that.
We have some very serious news right now. Elon Musk is now publicly joking about the possibility of buying MSNBC from Comcast, and Joe Rogan is even joking about the possibility of taking Rachel Maddow's spot on MSNBC should Elon Musk buy MSNBC. Now,
and you know what's smart with Rachel Maddow? I think she sensed certain things way before this was even a thing about Elon Musk buying MSNBC, is that she branched out already. She has her own podcast. I haven't listened to it, but I'm aware she has a podcast. So people could always go to her platform without any restriction. And I think MSNBC was trying to restrict her in some shape or form. I didn't follow through on that. Okay? So she started branching out. So even if they buy MSNBC, it's not hers. So it doesn't change anything, with the exception she will not have that income coming in. But she will have her podcast to do what she loves best. All right, so let's finish listening to that. I'm not going to go to the comments on this, and I'm going back to the other one, like I said.
Now, if you don't know this, Comcast announced earlier this week that it would be spinning off a number of its channels, including MSNBC, CNBC, and others. And on Twitter, Elon Musk and Donald Trump Jr. started to joke about possibly putting in an offer for MSNBC, which is, to many, the leading news source for progressive or for Democratic-leaning news. Folks, this shift in media, what Comcast is doing, could really overwhelmingly impact the future of mainstream media. And
like I said, the UK sent their best to start training America, and then the American people voted Trump back in. I'm telling you, there's a thread that I put on my community board. I started off. This is our last chance. After that, I do not know how we're going to get back on track again if Joe Biden doesn't do something, because there's a lot of power the Supreme Court gave him, and he could use that. So this is our last chance. After that, I do not know, because so much were done before. African Americans have fought for so much to get us to this point, and then young people, white women, young white men just give it away. Just give it away. So we shall see. We shall see.
It's why it's so important that we uplift independent journalists, and
That's
especially
right.
journalists on here, for example. There's no amount of money in the world Elon Musk could offer me to shut this channel down or to start reporting right-wing conspiracies. It's not going to happen. And while they're joking right now about the possibility of buying MSNBC, I would not take their jokes not seriously.
That's right.
It is very possible that Elon Musk can try to start some type of legacy media channel, or even try to put in an offer for something like MSNBC. In any event,
and that's how Twitter started. When they offered the owner of Twitter, I think it's within billions. Just look at the screen. I probably will search it when I'm editing. It's in billion. I mean, just think about it. If they offer him that much to buy a platform he started from scratch, why not? You know? But what happened with these people after they ruined Facebook, which got Trump elected in 2016, and they realized more people is shifting to Twitter, so they went and buy Twitter to blind people with stupidity. Okay? So they know what they're doing. So it's very sad. And then let's not forget as well, this, you should not be surprised, because I've shared screenshot on my community board about it. I think also yesterday or the day before, NPR was trending. You know what Trump wants to do with NPR? To defund it. So they're trying to blind the people completely. There's one video that I have, the thumbnails is like USA in the dark or something like that. Okay, so they're trying to not tell the truth at all, and for these people to run the country like it's theirs and do whatever they want. They do not want to be punished for anything. And then guess what? Majority of the dumb Americans give them that opportunity to do it, and they will take it in full advantage. They will do that. Okay? It's not like we didn't have experience of 2016 already. Let's finish with this.
More information, I will provide it to you, but be sure to follow along to be the first to know all the news, unbiased, independent, that you need to know about.
Okay, like you said, follow independent reporters and all of that. Look what happened in the Middle East. A lot of reporters, journalists were killed. Specifically, they know why. Okay, you know by whom. I don't want to mention any name here. Let's continue with this. Back to that now with the Docu series about how they're using Harry to pop up Charles.
If this family friend was speaking with James Bannon, that would be utterly fascinating.
The trail to find the family friend led to Camilla's hand-picked King of Spin, Mark Baldwin. When the News of the World presented their evidence to Baldwin, he used his close relationship with editor Rebecca Wade to soften the story. He even supplied Wade with the extra detail of Harry's royal visit to the rehab centre to make Charles look good.
After many, many years of lies being told about me, there comes a point where the relationship between certain members of the family and the tabloid press have decided to go to bed with the devil, to rehabilitate their image. The moment that comes at the detriment of me, I draw the line.
I think it was a very bad decision on Bolland's part. I think Charles was slightly distracted at the time, but I think he would probably feel now that he shouldn't have allowed that to appear. Because it does look like a son being sacrificed to make his father look better.
I think Charles's office were pretty cold-blooded in the way they used Harry, misrepresenting facts in order to portray his father and his mistress in a better light.
Okay, it's playing over. There's images here. Okay, the cause of Camilla, King Charles accused of sacrificing Prince Harry to save his and mistress image after affair. That was November 22, 2024. And there's that. Cool Charles betrays late Queen's wishes by stealing Harry's home. If I'm not mistaken, Frogmore is still empty. You know, just baggage for God. Okay, it's like they're trying to punish Harry, make him feel bad, so for them to feel good. And at the same time, they're really directing Harry, make Harry's brain work. When your brain works, you become very sharp. Okay, the others, you see, they never went through any hardship. They do not have any originality, with the exception of punishing people. Okay, look how they're trying to copy almost everything Harry and Meghan do. Okay, so as they, not that I'm saying it's good what they're doing to Harry and Meghan, but because of the unfairness and barriers they keep on putting in front of Harry and Meghan and all of that. Forget Meghan. Meghan is done with them. Okay, but in Harry, they're making his brain work harder and sharper. All right, so let's go. Let's finish with that one. Okay, Fragzit, King chucks Harry and Meghan out of Frogmore and offered to Andrew. Well, Andrew is still remaining in that 30-room mansion, which they just said in that long thread that I was just listening to. All right, so there's no comment. Let's go to the next tweet.
Lavanaka. It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life.